Old age explained, the most ignored stage of life. Somewhere right now, an old man is staring at a gate waiting for a child who promised, I'll visit next month. A 85-year-old grandma dancing harder than a gym trainer. A 90-year-old grandfather doing garba with more energy than Gen Z after one state case. An elderly Hindu priest casually giving life advice that destroys every motivational speaker. So, what exactly happens when humans grow old? Why do elderly people repeat stories? Why do they behave differently? And why are some abandoned and how are some grandparents secretly stronger than all of us? Today we are entering the most misunderstood stage of human life. Let me tell you something terrifying. One day you will become the person who says, in our days, petrol was rupees 60, and some teenager will roll their eyes at you. So congratulations, you are literally watching your own future. So what is geriatric population or old age population? People above 60 years are usually called the geriatric population. Fancy word, right? Sounds like a rare dinosaur species discovered in Kerala. But actually it just means older adults. And humans are living longer than ever before. Which means more grandparents, more walking sticks, more hearing aids, and more people forwarding good morning messages with roses and waterfalls. So hello, let's learn some funny aging terms. Scientists have complicated names for everything. Aging process is called as senescence. A person 100 years old is called as a centenarian. And a person 110 years old is called as a supercentenarian. Meanwhile, Indian aunties up to the age of 55 are like, I am only 29 beta. Let's take a quiz section. Who was the oldest verified human ever? Einstein, Gandhi? Your neighborhood uncle who claims he saw dinosaurs? The correct answer is Jean Calment from France. She lived 122 years. At that point, even the Grim Reaper probably said, Madam, are you planning to leave or should I? Why do elderly people act differently? Now let's answer the biggest mystery. Why do elderly people repeat stories, get angry quickly, complain, forget things, or shout at television? Simple, their body is changing. Imagine your knees hurt, your hearing drops, and your friends start dying. Your children are busy, and every app suddenly requires OTP verification. Even downloading WhatsApp feels like NASA training. Myth versus fact. Myth, all old people become childish. Fact is, many elderly people behave differently because hearing decreases, memory slows, and pain increases. Loneliness affects mood or dementia develops. Sometimes they are not ignoring you. They literally didn't hear what you said. The health problems in old age. As we age, the body becomes like an old smartphone. Battery drains faster, updates stop working, and one random thing crashes every morning. Common problems include arthritis, that is the knee pain, diabetes, increased blood sugar levels, cataract, opacity of the lens in the eyes, hearing loss, stroke, osteoporosis, weakness in the bones, Parkinson's disease, trembling of the hands, depression, and dementia, loss of memory, and etc. Imagine waking up one day and forgetting your own child's name. That's dementia. That's the reality for many people with dementia. Some elderly people repeat stories not because they want attention, but because their brain is slowly losing memories, and honestly, that's terrifying. What are activities of daily living, or ADL? Doctors actually test whether elderly people can still do something called ADL, activities of daily living. Basically, can you survive without accidentally falling while wearing your pajamas? or eating food. Activities of daily include bathing, eating your food, dressing by yourself, walking by yourself without support or with support, toileting, that is to go to the washroom and come back and use it successfully. There are instrumental activities of daily living, also called as the IADL, which sounds very scientific but mostly means adult responsibilities nobody enjoys, like paying bills, shopping, purchasing some things from the shop, cooking. Not many elderly can do that. Taking medicines on their own, that's a very difficult task. Using their mobile phones, even more difficult for an elderly. And for many grandparents, opening Google Chrome accidentally feels like launching nuclear missiles. There was an elderly father in India. Every day he waited outside his house at 5 pm. For what? Neighbors thought he loved sunsets. Later they discovered that he was waiting for his son who had moved abroad 8 years earlier. The son still called occasionally and always said, "Next year I'll come for sure." He died before that visit happened. Why elderly viral videos become so popular? Now suddenly the internet sees an old couple dancing at Mahakumbh, grandmothers doing Bhangra, and elderly uncles doing yoga. Priest giving spiritual wisdom, and a 90-year-old dancing at weddings. And boom, millions of views. Why? Because people don't just see old people, they see joy, innocence, survival, and hope. Some grandmothers now have better Instagram engagement than influencers. One dadi danced to Kajrare, millions of views. And one grandfather did Dandiya, internet exploded. One Hindu priest casually gave spiritual advice online. And comments were like, "Bro, unlocked inner peace in 30 seconds. Let's take some myths versus some facts. Myth: an old age means life is over. The fact is, many elderly people travel, dance, learn new skills, start businesses, become content creators, and even marry again. Some people peak after retirement. Meanwhile, most of us peak during free Wi Fi. Now, let's talk about something heartbreaking. Millions of elderly people face abuse. Some are insulted by their own children. Some are abandoned. They stay alone. Some are financially cheated. Some are denied medicines or not medicines are not brought. Some are emotionally ignored. They want to talk to people, but they are ignored. Sometimes the abuse is invisible. No hitting, no shouting, just complete silence, neglect, and loneliness. Let's see some types of abuse for the elderly people. Physical abuse: hitting or pushing the elderly people by their own kids. Emotional abuse, again with their own family members. Mocking or humiliating them for their acts because of their old age. Financial abuse, stealing their own pension money, not giving them their own rightful money. Medical neglect, ignoring their medicines or doctor's visits, not taking them to the doctor. Social neglect, locking elderly people away from the society. And the saddest part, many never report it because the abuser is often the family. Let's see some rights of the elderly people. Old people are not expired humans. They have dignity. They have right to health care. They have right to safety at all times, at home and outside. They have right for emotional support from all. They have right for property protection. Yes, and they have right for financial security. That's true. In India, elderly parents can legally demand maintenance from children, and elder abuse can be reported through 14567 Elder Helpline India. Why young people sometimes ignore the elders? Let's see the other side. Modern life is fast. Phones replaced conversations. Headphones replaced listening, so nobody talks to their parents. Reels are replaced by family dinners, and patience becomes shorter than YouTube ads. Now, sometimes young people think old people are annoying. But remember, those same people once fed you, carried you, and stayed awake while you were sick. The myth here is loneliness is normal in older age, whereas the fact is loneliness increases the risk of depression, dementia, and heart disease, and unfortunately, early death. Humans are social creatures. Every grandparents need friendship. And yes, they also need gossip. The secret of healthy aging. What does science say helps people live longer? Not magic supplements, not anti-aging cream worth 20,000. Real evidence says walking daily. Besides, eating a healthy diet, foods, eating healthy foods, sleeping properly, a good night's sleep, staying social, it's very important for mental health. Reducing stress, especially in the old age, preventing abuse, having a purpose in life is very important, and laughing often. In places called as blue zones, people even live beyond 100 years regularly. Honestly, some grandparents are terrifyingly strong. Your grandfather survived without Google Maps. Fixed TVs by just hitting them, if you remember. They drank water directly from metal taps. Do we do that now? And fought mosquitoes without electric rackets. Yes. Meanwhile, we panic when Wi Fi disappears for just 8 seconds. One day, your parents will stop calling you repeatedly. One day, their room will become silent. One day, you'll hear their voice only in old videos. And suddenly, you'll wish you listened longer. So, after this video, go sit with your grandparents. Ask them stories. Record their voice. Dance with them. Teach them Instagram. Or just listen, because aging is not weakness. It is proof that someone survived life. And remember, the elderly are not people with one foot in the grave. They are people with one foot in history. If this video touched your heart, share it with someone who still has their parents or grandparents and comment below. What is the funniest or most unforgettable thing an elderly